Hello my dear students of class 11. I hope you are doing well at home and you are going through the textbook, okay, and please do not waste time at home, but you make use of the time to go through the textbook, okay. Well, today we are going to start the second chapter, which is stages of human development, okay. And to start this topic, first of all, let us discuss in brief about growth and development. Okay, you might have heard these terms growth and development before, and many times these words, the word growth and the word development has been used interchangeably, okay. But these two words are not synonymous to each other. There is difference between the word growth and the word development, okay. So first of all, to tell you in brief, what is development, okay? Development is a progressive and systematic series of changes which occurs in the life of a person, okay? When the child is born, right from the time the child is born, the child passes through different phases of life, okay? From infancy to childhood to adulthood and then to old age. So it includes gradual improvement, okay, of one's ability, okay, to perform different types of tasks, such as, you know, when the child grows bigger, starts to creep first of all, and then to stand, and then to walk, okay. And in the later stages of life, okay, when the child grows up, okay, it includes several complex mental processes like reasoning, okay, thinking, and then problem solving. So eventually, as a child, okay, passes as an individual, okay, passes through the different phases of life, okay, there also occurs development, okay, which is mentally also and also at the same time physically. But the term development, as I have said, okay, in the later stage of life, it includes lots of mental processes. All right. Now, if we look at the term growth, okay, growth is a progressive change, okay, like, you know, in the to give you for an example, like the change in the bone structure, okay, and the bone of the teeth, and the muscles, okay, the nerves, the gland structure, okay, there is a progressive change, okay, in the structure of the body as a child gradually advances in age, okay. So growth can be termed as a natural process which can be either helped or which can be hindered by number of factors, okay. There may be environmental factors, like, you know, if the child gets good nutrition, good diet, okay, the growth will be very progressive and it will also enhance, okay, it will be seen in the we can see it visibly, okay. And also like general state of the health, right, that's also very important. Medical care, when the child falls sick, if proper care is taken, then all of this contributes to the growth, okay, which is a natural process. So also the healthy physical environment, the environment in which the child grows, okay. So even the environment plays a very important role in the process of growth in the child, okay. So also physical defects, sometimes children are born with physical defects, okay, and, you know, some parents may not be able to afford to take care of those deficiencies, okay. Sometimes, you know, some deficiencies can be corrected while some cannot be, right. So and to add to that, even sleep, when a child is deprived of sleep, okay, maybe due to several reasons, mainly because of the family background, if there is any problem at home, stress at home, okay, the parents are undergoing financial constraints, all of these have an effect on the growth of the child. So even sleep plays a very important role in the growth of the child, and the child has to get enough rest, okay, and relaxation. Alright, and most important to that also, you know, a child has to play and has to exercise. There should be some amount of athletics also. So all of these things, either, you know, all of these things, if it is not there, okay, we see that it either enhances the growth or it can also hinder if there are some physical, you know, disturbances or hindrances in the process of growth of the child. So we must remember that all of these factors which I have just told you now, it plays a very comprehensive role in the growth of the child. Okay, now my dear students, let us try to understand what are the stages of human life. Okay, in your book there has been classifications which has been given by Rousseau, by Rayburn. Okay, but I personally like the stages of human life as has been described by Elizabeth Harlock, which is why I prefer to share it with you on the blackboard. And take a look at this. According to Elizabeth Harlock, the first stage of human life is a prenatal period. Okay, so to describe for you what is prenatal period, this is a period, okay, which refers to the time when the embryo is conceived in the mother's womb. So right from the time of conception till the time of the birth, okay, that period of time is referred to as a prenatal period. Okay, and then after the prenatal period comes the infancy. Okay, and this stage, or which is referred to as infancy, okay, it takes a period from the time the individual is born, that is birth, to 2 years of age is referred to as infancy. Okay, and then after infancy comes a childhood. All right, and this period called childhood, it takes into account the period of time that is from 2 years of age to 10 years of age, okay, of a human being. All right, and then after the childhood we move on to the adolescence. Okay, now this adolescence period we can again divide it into two, which is the first one is called puberty. Okay, during this stage of time there occurs many bodily changes in the body of the male organism, so also in the body of the female organism. All right, so this puberty, okay, the term puberty or the period puberty happens between 10 to 12 years of age to 13 or 14 years of age. Okay, this period of time is referred to as puberty. So there will be pubic hair, okay, and in the genital areas, okay, there will be bodily changes, okay, mustache, change of vocal cord, menstruation in the girl child. Okay, so these are few of the changes that occurs during this stage of human life. Okay, and then after this stage comes the adolescence. All right, adolescents, or we say teenagers. All right, so if you make a right decision when you are a teenager, okay, that decision, okay, will make the decision for the rest of your life. If you make a wrong decision during your teenage, also it will okay, take into account the rest of your life. So this period of human life is said to be the time which is, you know, it is referred to as terrible teens. Okay, or in other words, terrible means, you know, there's so many things that goes on physically, emotionally, mentally, which is why, you know, the individual even doesn't know why he is reacting or why she is reacting in the way that he or she does. But it is due to all of those changes which goes on in the body. Okay, this is a process of growth and development. Okay, so this adolescence period, it occurs between the age of 13 or 14 years to 18 years of age. Okay, I hope it is clear, okay, for you. Then after the adolescence period comes the adulthood. Okay, now when we say adulthood, we can again classify them according to Elizabeth Harlock into 3 stages. First stage is the early adulthood. Okay, the early adulthood covers the time period from 18 years of age to 40 years of age. That is why when you are 18, you get the right to vote. Okay, you are eligible to get a driving license. Okay, so on and so forth. Many things happen when you once reach 18. All right. So why is it that 18 years? It is generally accepted that once an individual reaches the age of 18, he or she, okay, is mature enough to take decisions. That is why 18 years of age is taken as the time, okay, when an individual gets a right to vote and, like I told you, okay, gets a license. All right, and then we move on to the next stage according to Elizabeth Harlock, the middle adulthood. Okay, that is from 40 years of age to 60 years of age is considered to be the middle adulthood. Alright, and then after that comes the old age, which is from 60 years of age till death. Okay, so my dear students, if you can go through this, okay, make a note of it also, and you can put this down and this flow chart in your notebook also. Okay, now my dear students, we move on our discussion further into the stages of human life, and the first stage of life which we are going to discuss is this stage which is known as infancy. Okay, so during this stage of life, what are the characteristic features that we see in the child? First of all, we observe that there is quick physical growth. Okay, you know that the child, okay, when the child is born, okay, a child normally weighs 3 kilos or 2.7 kilos. Sometimes when the mother doesn't get proper nutrition and the child may be 2.5 kilos, okay, it may range from somewhere 2.5 to 4 kilos even. Okay, so right from the time the child is born, we see that in 3 months of time, in 1 year of time, okay, the weight of the child gets double, it even gets triple. Okay, so we see that there is very quick physical growth which happens when the child is in the infant stage. Okay, the second characteristics that we find in infancy is that they are very dependent. Okay, for everything the infant has to be dependent on the adult who is taking care. Okay, for bathing, for cleaning, for food, for everything, the infant is totally dependent on the adult who is taking care. Alright, the third characteristics that we see is the infant is very playful. Okay, or we can say playfulness. Okay, you can see that the infant, okay, they always have a desire or a tendency to being very playful. Okay, and they like, you know, faces which are always smiling. Okay, we see a lot of joy and happiness which is being expressed on the face. Okay, and they are always willing to be playful along with the adult. All right. The fourth characteristics that we see in the infant is the language development. First of all, you know, the infant will say some words, they will pronounce some words which doesn't make any sense. Okay, like the 2-syllable words goo goo, gaga. Okay, you also make fun of it, right? When you see an infant, okay, sometimes we know that the infant is not able to talk, all right, and so the adults go near the infant and make faces, make sounds. Okay, so they will coo, okay, ka, okay, goo, okay, goo goo. All right, so depending on the mother tongue, okay, sometimes the infant will speak, make sounds, okay, but it doesn't make any sense. All right, but eventually by the age of 3 years, the infant is able to understand and is able to speak a little bit of the mother tongue. Okay, so this is what one characteristic feature that we see in the infants. Okay, the next is the sensory development. Okay, we know that we have human beings are born with 5 sense organs, right? We all know it. Okay, I don't have to say it for you, but let us say it. Okay, that is the sense of seeing, okay, the sense of smelling, okay, and then sense of hearing. Very good. Then the tongue, okay, which is taste, and feeling, okay, with the skin. So we see a lot of sensory development which happens in the infant. All right, and then the next characteristic feature that we observe in the infant is a curiosity. Okay, the infants are very curious by nature. Okay, they are very curious when they see a new thing. Okay, for them everything is new, in fact. Okay, if they see, you know, so adults find it very not easy, I should say, but you can keep the attention, or you can grab the attention of an infant by showing them even a very simple thing. Why? Because for them everything is new. All right, so we see that the infants, they show a natural tendency, they are very curious, okay, by nature. And the next thing is they are also very imaginative in nature. Okay, the infants. All right, so you know that by the time they are 2.5 or 3, okay, sometimes they will walk around with you know, they are able to somehow walk. They will try to walk with the big sandals also. Am I right? But you can ask your parents when you grew up what you used to do. Okay, Sometimes they will imagine themselves to be like their parents. If the girl child mostly will imitate their mother, okay, and the boy child will, naturally imitate their father. So they have a sense of imagination, and they will express it even when they play, okay, which is visible when they play, alright, even the way they talk, okay, even the way they walk. Sometimes they're very imaginative in nature, okay. Moving on to that, the next characteristics that we see in the infant is animism, okay. What is animism? Animism is when the infant, they think that everything around them have life, okay. For example, they think even the book has life, the floor has life. So if accidentally they fall down and they bang the head on a corner of the table and they start to cry, alright, because infants, they will cry for anything, alright. If they are wet, they will cry. If they are hungry, they will cry. They will cry when there is any sort of uncomfortable feeling, they will cry. That is the way they express, because they have not yet learned to express in the form of language, alright. So coming back to that point of animism, they think that every inanimate object also have life. So the adult will say, okay, what gave you the pain? Is it this table or is it this wall? And the adult goes and hit the wall. Okay, here I am hitting it, and the child stops to cry. Okay, I hope you have noticed that. Why did the child stop to cry when the adult went and hit the wall or hit the table? Because for the infant, every inanimate object also have life, okay. So that is called animism, okay. Then the next characteristic feature that we observe in infant is a instinctive tendency, okay. They live with an instinctive tendency, okay. And then we also see a certain amount of narcissism, which is talks about the sex life in infant, okay. They love themselves a lot, okay. That is what they exhibit, okay. And also they are very egocentric, okay. That means they are not like egocentric like the adults do, but in a way like they don't want to share their playthings, they don't want to share it with other children, what they hold to be precious for them, okay. So in brief, my dear students, these are a list of characteristics, okay. I have discussed it with you in a very brief way, okay, but you go through the text. And for today we will finish our discussion here. In the next class we shall study about childhood, okay. We shall discuss about adolescence, okay, and the concluding part of it we will go and do that in the next class, okay. So till next class, you stay home and stay safe. Take care. Bye.
Stay home, stay safe, do it for self, live for family, live for India, let's make a change of COVID-19. हम होंगे कामयाब। जय हिंद।